One of the major complaints about Corrin right now is his counter. After reading about it so much, I decided to compare his counter with other counters within the game. A lot of people are complaining that his counter does too much knockback and can kill way too early. I wanted to see how much earlier it does kill compared to other counters. The 3 counters I am testing are Shulk's, Ike's, and Roy's. Those are the 3 most powerful counters other than Corrin's inside the game right now. I did all my testing on Pirate Ship Omega stage. The reason I chose this stage was because of the planks on the floor. They allow me to measure the edge of the stage to the character, letting me see how far away from the blast zones they actually are. So without further ado, let's do some testing. I decided to start with Mario and Corrin as my first test subjects. I picked Mario because he's pretty much middle ground everything. He's not too heavy, he's not too light, he's just the perfect all-around testing subject. Don't forget, in training mode there is no rage and there's no stale moves. This allows me to get a more accurate reading. I don't have to worry about some extra variables. Also, keep in mind there will be no DI on the enemy who gets hit with a counter. This allows even more accurate testing. I found that Mario would die at 64% if Corrin countered his up smash. Anything below 64% and Mario will not die. Knowing the percentages, I decided to test Mario with the 3 other characters. We'll start with Roy. Like I said before, I use the lines on the ground as measurement points. This allows me to see how far away Mario is from the center of the stage, as well as how far away from the edge of the stage he is. Mario at 64% will die from Roy's counter from 9 lines in from the edge of the stage. This is a little bit over 3/4 to the middle of the stage. Next up is Ike. Ike's counter is a little bit weaker than Roy's. From the edge of the stage, he killed Mario from 8 lines in. That again is about 3/4 to the center of the stage. For Shulk, I did both of his counters. The standard one, where you don't push anything other than down B, and the one where you hold inwards towards the enemy. The one where you hold in towards the enemy gives you more knockback. We'll start with Shulk's standard counter. His standard counter has the least amount of knockback compared to the 2 other counters we tested. It was only able to kill Mario 5 lines in. That's not even halfway to the center of the stage. Shulk's counter, the one where you hold towards the enemy, killed a lot farther than the one where you just do a standard down B. This one killed Mario 11 lines in from the edge of the stage. It's very close to half the stage's length, but it is a little bit shorter. So after testing all 4 counters with Mario, I decided that Corrin was the best for this situation. The reasoning he was the best was that he can get the counter anywhere on the stage and it'll kill him at 64%. The 3 other characters have to be more strict with their positioning to ensure the kill. So does that mean that Corrin has the best counter in the game? I didn't know for sure, so I decided to do more testing with more characters. Next, I decided to use a very light character. I chose Game & Watch because he's one of the lightest characters in the game, and he has a very strong up smash. Starting with Corrin in Game & Watch, I found that Game & Watch would die at 40% if Corrin countered his up smash. Again, like last time, anything below that he will not die. So I used that number as my testing percentage for the other 3 characters' counters. Let's start with Roy again. When Roy counters Game & Watch's up smash, he dies from 6 lines in from the edge of the stage. Ike kills Game & Watch when Game & Watch is 5 lines in from the edge of the screen. Again, like last time, Roy's a little bit stronger. Shulk's standard counter kills Game & Watch between lines 4 and 5, so he's right in the middle. And finally, Shulk's counter where you input towards the enemy, it killed Game & Watch 8 lines in from the edge of the stage. And again, that's a little bit over halfway to the center of the stage. So in conclusion, Corrin has the best counter once again. The 3 other characters have to work on their positioning to make sure that they get the kill. Corrin can just do it anywhere within the stage and he gets it. On the opposite end of the spectrum, I decided to do a very heavy character. I chose King Dedede and used his down smash. King Dedede died a lot later than the other characters at 89%. Once again, I used that number as my testing point. Unfortunately, since King Dedede is so large, he's hard to get an accurate measurement. When King Dedede died from Roy's counter, he was between 12 and 14 lines in. Ike's was just a little bit shorter than Roy's, like the first testing with Mario. He killed when King Dedede was between lines 11 and 13. That's just one less than Roy's. Shulk, once again, with a standard counter, has the weakest one out of the three. Shulk was only able to kill him when King Dedede was between lines 8 and 10. However, once again like last time, Shulk's counter where you input towards the enemy killed King Dedede much farther away. This time, Shulk killed King Dedede when he was between lines 13 and 15. So what does all this mean? Well, all three counters got very close to the center of the stage, and some actually even surpassed it, such as Shulk's counter where you input towards the enemy. This means as long as you are facing the correct direction and past the center of the stage, you should get the kill depending on the move they use. But does that make them better than Corrin's counter? I'd probably say no again. While this time it is a lot closer compared to the other two testings we did, it's still situational in some aspects. You have a higher chance of netting the kill now compared to the other two testings we did with the three characters, but if you're still on the opposite edge of the stage and you counter in the wrong direction, it still won't net you a kill. Corrin once again wins due to his versatility of his counter. It doesn't matter where he is on the position of the stage, as long as he gets the counter correctly, he'll get the kill if the move is right and the percentage is right. I have one more character to test, and that is Fox. I chose Fox due to his relatively light weight, but he has a very high falling speed. So I was wondering if that would affect anything in any way for Corrin's counter. Once again, I did Corrin versus Fox, I did Fox's up smash, and I countered it with Corrin. Fox died at a relatively low 44%. So how do the other counters hold up? Well, not to be redundant, but it's pretty much the same test as the King Dedede one. All three counters were able to kill Fox from around the middle of the stage. So in conclusion, it's the same result I got with King Dedede. The other three counters have superb killing power still, but they're not as good as Corrin's. The ability not to care where you are on the stage is a big plus for Corrin when he does his counter. I could continue with different characters, different moves, different scenarios, all that, but it's gonna be the same. I believe Corrin's counter is the best counter in the game. I know what you're thinking, it's obvious, there's been countless videos about it, there's been countless posts about it, but I just thought I would test anyway, show the comparison between the kill percentages, how far away from the edge of the stage the other three characters have to be, all that sort of stuff, just so people could see the differences. So the end question is, do you think it's overpowered, do you think it's not? I think it's too early to tell right now. It does look really good right now, but usually all DLC characters look really good as soon as they first come out. A week is not long enough to decide what is overpowered and what is not, even though I might look at right now. As usual, I think that we just need to give it a little bit more time, and if it's still a problem, maybe like a month or two from now, then hopefully they'll address the issue. But as of right now, I think it's a little bit too early. I just wanted to post this video, show the comparison between all of them. Maybe it gave you some new ideas and all that. I hope you liked the video, and thanks again for watching it.